You can't grow your agency unless you know how to get clients. You need to get clients for yourself, but then you need to learn how to get clients for your clients as well. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you how to get unlimited clients for your agency. And this isn't going to be your typical LinkedIn Sales Navigator or Instagram DM strategies that the latest SMMA gurus tell you on YouTube. This is advanced specific sauce coming from a lead gen agency owner who works with B2B companies to help them generate more leads. So close all your tabs, put your phone across the room, lock in on this video, take notes if you have to, because we're about to dive in. All right, guys, so here it is. The best way to get unlimited clients for your agency. I'm not going to get into any fluff. I'm going to go right into it. So let's start with part one. There's going to be two parts. Part one is scraping leads. Now, what is lead scraping? So lead scraping, very simply put, is just putting together lists of potential clients who are in your target market or ICP. So it's just putting together a list of contact information of people who you want to sell to, right? So again, it comes in the form of a contact, right? So a contact, a lead is going to be these 6 things. Right? So when you have a lead list, it's going to compile of contacts that have these 6 things, right? So it's going to be first name, last name, the company name, right? The title and position that they are, and then their email address and phone number. Now, these are like the 2 really important parts of it, or else it doesn't really matter. What are you scraping leads for? You need a way to actually reach the people, okay? So these are very important. Now, why is lead scraping important? Okay, it's 2 things. Number 1 is because it makes your outreach scripts easier to write because you know who you're going to be reaching out to, right? You know what you're going to be trying to pitch them, right? You've already figured out what your target market is, and then you can kind of go from there and then write your outreach scripts specifically for them, okay? And then number 2, it makes your emails relevant, right? And that does 2 things. Why do I need to keep my emails relevant? Because you're going to keep your domain healthy and you're actually going to get results. And actually these 2 things go hand in hand because if you get results, your domains are going to stay healthy, right? Now, what do I mean by domains staying healthy? What I mean is that there's an algorithm, Google, Microsoft, whatever domains, whatever email accounts you're using, there's an algorithm. If you're sending emails out, cold emails, and you're not getting any responses, this algorithm is going to think that you're a scammer, that you're a spammer, right? So what you need to do is you have to make sure that you're getting results, you're getting responses, you're getting engagement, right? So when you keep your emails relevant by having a lead scraper and a scraped list of leads, right? It keeps your emails relevant, which gets you results, which gets you engagement, which in turn keeps your domains healthy. Okay, guys? So that's why the lead scraping is important. All right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about how to define your actual ICP, like your target market. So there are 8 different things that you need to go through, different filters to like really narrow down an ICP, right? And then you could literally take a lot of these things, a lot of these points here, and just plug them into a lead scraper tool, and then you have your ICP, you have your lead list built, right? So number 1 is industry, number 2 is titles, number 3 is revenue, number 4 is the employee count, and then number 5 is specialization. Now, what do I mean by specialization, right? What I mean by that is like, do they do something specific? Right? Like, are they a like low ticket SaaS? Are they a high ticket enterprise SaaS? Like, what is their specialization? It's a hard word to say, right? So that you don't have to have this one, but it's something to take into account if you really want to get niche down, right? And then you have location, you have pain points, and then you have desired solution, right? Now, let me give you an example of this. So an example of this could be B2B SaaS companies who have product market fit, have 5 to 20 employees, and are doing 1 million a year plus in revenue, right? So software as a service, right? And you can go even niche down further, right? So for example, like a low ticket financial SaaS that sells like financial service products, right? Or a high ticket enterprise insurance SaaS, right? You should really niche this down, right? And then 2, what are the titles that you're going after? If you're selling a lead generation offer, you're probably going to go after business development, chief revenue officer, head of marketing, head of sales, definitely need to put head of sales. So any business development, sales, marketing, or any revenue, chief revenue officer, those are the titles that you're going to go after. Okay. Now, revenue. I would recommend staying around 1 million plus, but this is just an example of an ICP, right? So like, let's say that the revenue is a 1 million plus a year. Okay. And then employee count, 5 to 20. Okay. And then specialization. So like I said earlier here, you want to narrow it down. So let's say their specialization is they're a low ticket finance SaaS that targets local banks, right? That's their specialization, right? That's really going to help you when you're writing copy, when you're making an offer, when you're building your lead list, just making money. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to sell services and actually make money if you're targeting these people compared to just B2B SaaS companies, right? Because this is a lot more in depth than this, right? And you can make a specific offer to this rather than just this, right? So cool. And then number 6, location. For this one, it's like United States and Canada. I would recommend you just stay in North America. It's just way easier. Now, let's talk about some pain points. So pain points for companies, businesses, B2B businesses that are looking for a lead generation are going to be a few things. And these are from me taking hundreds and thousands of calls with B2B companies, right? So number 1 is going to be lack of pipeline, lack of growth, right? And a really specific one that I got from a lot of people that was astounding to me, that like kind of took me by surprise, was like, hey man, like we've been growing and we've grown, but like our growth has only been due to referrals and network up until this point, and now we need to do something outside of that to grow further, right? And also they'll say something like, hey, we've tried hiring sales reps, but they didn't perform, right? We don't want to spend that much money on sales reps, okay? So those are examples of pain points for this ICP, right? And then for desired solutions, we could do something like they want to book 20 to 30 more qualified sales calls on their calendar every single month. That is their desired solution, right? But the end desired solution that they really want is more money, right? But how are we going to do that, right? We're going to either get them more qualified calls on their sales calendar, and then in turn, they're going to be able to close another 5 clients or customers every single month, and that's going to lead to more money, okay? So that's their desired solution, but there are different ways that we can get that, different ways that we could frame it so that they can get that, okay? Because you can't just say, we'll help you make more money, okay? It's not going to work, right? That's their desired solution, but there's different ways to come to that, okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about the lead scraping process, okay, guys? So guys, before I get into this, I have like a full 2-hour video going through every single step by step, what you need to do to go from $0 to $10,000 a month with a lead generation agency. It's going to be the first video in the link in the description below. You can click on that and watch that. And I go through all this stuff more in depth. So if you want to watch that, you can go ahead. But for this, I'm just summarizing it. All right. Now back to the video though. Lead scraping process. Very simply put, there are a few steps to, scrape leads, okay? So you want to use Apollo.io. And then what you want to do is you want to put in your search filters. That's all these things: the industry, the titles, the revenue, the employee count, the location, okay? You can do those things. Obviously, you can't put in specialization and you can't put in pain points and desired solution, but you can put in the rest of these, right? You can put in all of those, okay? And then what you want to do is, instead of scraping it on Apollo, you want to take the URL, okay, of the search filter, and then you want to copy and paste it into this website called enrichiq.com, okay? Now, what enrichiq.com is going to do is it's just going to allow you to get marketing data seamlessly and cost effectively from Apollo and other sources, right? So it's just going to allow you to scrape your URLs from Apollo for much cheaper. So it's like 1,000 leads for $3. All right. So you don't have to pay $100 a month for Apollo. You could just get the free plan. And then every time you make a search, you could just plug it in here and get your leads. Okay. It's going to be a lot easier. And then what this is going to do is EnrichIQ is going to scrape your leads for you automatically without you needing an Apollo subscription, as I just said. And then they're going to send the file to your email address. Okay. After they send the file to your email, you pay and everything. What you want to do is you want to upload them into Million Verifier. Okay. Now, what Million Verifier is it just verifies and validates your emails. Okay. Because a lot of the emails on all these data sources, they're not good, right? They're shitty. So what you want to do is you want to put them through a verification tool like this that is just going to verify all of them. Okay. Now, it's going to verify your emails because you only want to send to valid email addresses. Otherwise, you're going to land in spam, okay? Because the emails are going to bounce, okay? So literally, after you download you get your downloaded list from your email, you just drag and drop it here, and then it's going to come up here. It's going to take like 5-10 minutes to do this, and then you can come and download reports, and you can just download good emails only. And see, now you have a CSV file, and after you have the CSV file, now they're ready for you to import into Smart Lead. Now you have your lead list, your lead scraping process is done. Okay. So that's the first part of the process. Okay. Now let's talk about client acquisition, guys. Okay. And specifically, I want to talk about setting appointments, okay? Because after you do this lead scraping process, you import your lead lists and you write your copy and you launch, then what you need to do is you need to set appointments, okay? So guys, I want to talk about a few things when it comes to setting appointments. But the first thing, the most important thing, is going to be speed to lead, okay? Now, you need to be answering replies within 5 minutes max, okay? Now, why that is because the longer you wait to respond to a prospect, the more that they're just kind of getting out of your head, right? So when they respond to you immediately, they're saying, yes, I'm interested, or they're asking for more information, you're on the top of their mind. So you want to get that appointment booked in while they're on top of your mind, right? So what you want to do is a few things. You can either set up an automation on Zapier that just shows you every single time a message comes in. So what happens is if you have a Slack channel, you could literally set up an automation on Zapier where every time a response comes in, it automatically just shoots to your Slack channel. Okay, that's the first way. Or number two, if you have a lower budget, you don't want to spend that much money on this, or you're just not like an operator, automations guy, you can just forward every single domain email that you set up to one master email account. So right, let's say you set up like 20 email accounts, you could send all like 19 to like one. Right? So every single email goes to one master email account. And then you could add that email to your phone's mail app and put the notifications on. So that every time a response comes in, you're notified and you could just reply as soon as possible. Okay. And then also SmartLead also has an iPhone app now. So you could just download that and you just put the notifications on. So it's pretty easy to do. Okay. And then guys, let's talk about another very, very important part of setting appointments. Okay. Volume, okay? Volume is very important, okay? Let me explain why. Because everyone thinks industry standard is like 1% of like meeting booking rates, right? So what I mean by booking rates is like, let's say they send 1,000 emails, everyone thinks you're going to book like 10 calls, right? That's 1%, right? It's not true. Okay. If you send it out, most people are not sending 1,000 emails and booking 10 calls. All right. So they're more like 0.3% or even lower. Right? So for example, if we're at 0.3%, that means that we need to send more volume. Okay. So what I would say is a rule of thumb is that you need to be sending 10,000 emails a month minimum. So if we were to send 10,000 emails a month, that's 30 meetings, right? And then if you can close at 20%, that's 5 to 6 clients closed. All right. Now let's do an example here. Let's say that you're not good at sales and your meeting book rate sucks, right? The only solution to this is making up for it in volume, okay? And obviously getting better at booking meetings and writing better copy and all that stuff. But a very simple fix is just sending way more volume, all right? It's the easiest thing to do. So for example, let's say you have a 0.1 meeting book rate and 10% closing rate, which is like very below mediocre. It's pretty bad, right? You should definitely work on your skills if you're at this level, right? If you send 50,000 emails, you'll book 50 meetings and you'll have 5 clients, right? That's if you suck. So by sending 50,000 emails a month, if you suck, you can sign 5 clients, right? By sending 50,000 emails a month, you can make $10,000. 5 clients paying you a $2,000 setup fee plus $300 a call. 50,000 emails per month if you suck, make $10,000, right? Now, obviously, you need to have some skills. Like, you're not an idiot, right? You need to know how to do some stuff. But you could be very below mediocre and still make money, right? It's just about effort, right? And then again, even if you book 5 calls a month per client, that's $1,500 a month. That's 5 clients. You make $7,500 a month. Congratulations. If you send 50,000 emails a month, you are now making more than the average person working in America. You're now close to making 80, 90K a year. All right. Literally, like, send more effing emails. All right. Just by increasing the volume, you're able to significantly increase your likelihood of making money. Okay. There's no hack to this. Just send more emails. Most of you guys don't have the balls to send more emails for some reason. I don't understand. Just send more. All right. Okay, cool. Now let's talk a little bit about general inbox management practices, right? Best practices for inbox management, okay? So what is inbox management? Inbox management is just managing your inboxes, seeing the responses coming in, organizing them, right? Because once you start sending a lot of emails, right? Stuff gets disorganized, right? So what you need to do is 2 to 3 times a day, every single day, you need to be checking your master inbox on Smart Lead, and you need to be tagging your leads. Okay, guys? You need to be tagging your leads. Okay. So whether they're out of office, they want more information, they're interested, they're saying to F off, don't ever contact me again. So you tag them as do not contact. You need to do that. You need to keep your inbox organized, right? And that segues right into the next topic, which is subsequences. Okay. A subsequence is essentially in your master inbox. Every time you tag a lead, you can create a subsequence. So based on what you tag them as, it'll put them in another sequence. Right? So for example, let's say that you got a bunch of out of office replies, right? 14, you can literally tag them as out of office, and then literally 14 to 21 days later, it'll automatically put them in a new campaign, right? Or for example, let's say that they want more information, right? If they want more information, you tag them as more information, request information, and then it automatically puts them in a new campaign to follow up with them to try to book that call. Now, what this does is it just makes it so much easier for you to book more calls, and it makes it so that no leads fall through the cracks, right? So you make sure you set up subsequences, make sure that you're checking your master inbox 2-3 times a day, you're cleaning it up, and you're tagging your leads. All right, guys. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is pre-call reminders and automations that can increase your show-up rates, right? So, because if you want to get as many clients as you possibly can, right, essentially unlimited clients, you need to make sure that once you book appointments and book calls, they're actually showing up, right? There needs to be automations and workflows in place to do that, right? Now I'm going to walk you through our workflow on exactly how we were able to go from like a 50% show up rate to like an 85% show up rate, okay? So what we want to do is 2 things with a pre-call nurture flow, right? A pre-call nurture flow is essentially just a workflow that you put someone through when they book an appointment for you that does 2 things, right? It's going to reduce the no-shows, get more people to show up to the calls, and it's also going to warm up your prospect so that it becomes so much easier to close, okay? So this is the exact steps that you need to take in order to do it. Okay. You need to create sales assets, and then you need to actually go ahead and create the workflows in Calendly. Okay. Now, just to prove that this process actually works, this is a before and after of like what I implemented this for our agency, right? So this is like in June 2023 when we didn't have any like follow-up or pre-call automation stuff in like set up, right? We had like around a 50% no-show rate, which is terrible. That means if we were booking 30 calls in a month, only 15 people were showing up, we're losing a lot of money, right? And then we implemented our pre-call nurture flows, which I'm going to walk you through now. And we had more like an 85% show up rate, right? Which is amazing, right? It's huge. And that's when we actually ended up doing our best revenue month, is when we implemented this stuff. Okay. So let's get into actually how to do this. So the number one thing you need to do is you need to create sales assets, right? People are like, what is a sales asset? A sales asset is just a material, right? It's like some sort of video that you leverage to get more sales, right? So some examples of sales assets are like a video sales letter, a written sales letter, a landing page, a case study breakdown, a short loom video, a mind map, a flow chart. Basically, it's just a video or a copy of you like providing value, right? Showing your process and showing off client results, right? Hint. What you're reading right now is one of my sales assets, right? With this YouTube video that you're watching right now is one of my sales assets, right? It's helping you getting closer to booking a call with me or something like that, right? So it's a sales asset. So for this case specifically, what I would want to stick to is 2 things, a short loom video and a case study breakdown, okay? So this is a pre-call short loom video that you can record. I really like this. You could record this for yourself, and what it'll do is it'll increase the amount of people who actually show up to the call, and then actually make the quality of the calls better. So basically on this short loom video, you're just going to be setting the frame of exactly what they should be expecting from the call, right? And this is the exact outline that you'll follow. You'll say, this is who this is not for. This is who this is for. This is what we do. This is case study and social proof of who else we've done it for. And then I'll see you on the call. Okay. And guys, I'll link this in the description below as well, so you could watch the video. I don't want to just go through it and waste too much time on it, but you could literally just watch it. I'll link this whole document in the video below, in the description below, guys. Okay. And then also what you can send is something called like a pre-call case study breakdown. So with this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be showing our case studies to show competence and make it easier for our prospects to close, right? So if they see that I've done work for similar types of people, it's going to be easier for them to close, right? So you could send a link to your website's case study section. You can create a new doc, or you can make a video. Okay. Again, you can go through mine and when I link it below. Okay, guys, step 2 of this. Now, you need to actually create workflows and create the automation. And what you're going to do is you're going to use Calendly to do this. All right. Now, this is going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to increase your meeting show rate. And number 2, it's going to make your prospect easier to close. All right. This is very important. Okay. So you're also going to need a Calendly subscription to use the workflows feature. Highly recommend getting that. It's worth the money. Okay. Now, how this works is right after you book someone into your calendar manually, or a prospect uses your Calendly link to book in a call, they're automatically going to be put into this pre-call sequence, this workflow, right? And this is what the workflow is going to look like. You could literally copy this entire framework, right? So email 1, right after they book the call, they get a confirmation email with a short Loom video, just like I showed you above, right? And then email 2, 2 days before the call, they'll get another reminder email, right? Saying, hey, you have a call in 2 days, just make sure that's in your calendar. Email 3, 24 hours before the call, I send them another reminder, but with case studies, right? Hey, we've done this for this. We've done this for this person, right? And then email 4 is 2 hours before the call. We'll add a rescheduling link, right? Now, here's an example of what these look like, okay? Email 1, you could literally copy this. Again, I'll link this in the description below if you guys want to see this, right? So literally copy this. Email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4. And that is how you will increase your show up rate, make sure that leads aren't slipping through the cracks. That, guys, is the best way to get unlimited clients for your agency. But everything I covered is only one part of starting and scaling your agency. That's why I made this full free course on YouTube on the exact step-by-step process on how to go from $0 to $10,000 a month with the best agency model that exists. It goes way in depth on everything you need to know about starting your agency, writing scripts, closing clients, and delivering services for your clients. It's the video on screen now. Click it and I'll see you in there.